Why should I give a damn?
What's up? You're now tuned into Why Should I Give a Damn? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that if you're on any podcast listening platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, make sure you're hitting those subscription buttons and notification bells on everything so you can get the updated new content that we like to drop from week to week. And most importantly, make sure you're following us on that Instagram at WSIGAD_podcast for all the latest reels and clips. Also like our Facebook page, Why Should I Give a Damn? WSIGAD podcast everywhere. I am your host, Eric.
It's your girl, Breezy the Barber.
Crux, the host with the most.
It's Joe Button.
And we're back in the building. Lots to talk about, lots to recap. Took a little time off, as we sometimes do, but we still got a lot of things to talk about. Sometimes I like the little gaps sometimes. Sometimes I like having vacations because then it allows for a lot of stuff to accumulate to talk about. You get the full story. Sometimes when you're talking about stuff that's happening right away, you don't get the full information. You don't know what's going on. The story's still developing, but now we're in the process right now where we're coming back and we got a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of details to speak on it about. So the first thing we want to recap on, go back in the chamber, is we got to talk about the Ocean Gate submersible. At the end of, everybody knows about the Titanic, man. You know, we seen the movie. Leonardo DiCaprio still thought he had enough room on that table.
Y'all niggas ain't gonna never get at us.
Still thought he had enough room, but that's beside the...
That's what James Cameron finally came out and said. He basically y'all niggas got it, yes. But it wouldn't have been a good movie, so leave it alone. That's what he said.
Like it would.
Can I just say, though, when I look back at Titanic, I watched the movie. The movie was trash to me. I'm sorry. Like I said,
it was a great
movie.
movie.
Movie was
I
trash
like it. It's
to
a
me.
love story to me.
You want to know why the movie? I'm gonna tell you why the movie was cold. You want to know what made it cold? Because fucking Celine Dion hypnotizes you the whole fucking movie. If you can play that song on anything, and all of a sudden it becomes just play Boys in the Hood, and you got Ricky running down the alley and shit. As soon as he gets shot, Celine Dion. That shit gets epic as a bitch. If you play that on anything, it just makes it epic.
Like when Ricky got shot in Boys in the Hood, that would have fit there.
That would have been, or when motherfucking Mufasa fell off the cliff when Scar killed his ass on Lion King.
Or when Andy
you play the Celine Dion music there.
Yeah, when Andy Dufresne got sexually assaulted in Shawshank Redemption.
That should have
when they closed down the door.
Oh, that would have been fucked up.
Crazy.
We played the Celine Dion music there. Like I said, if you play the Celine Dion music on any fucking part. It was
like 15 niggas in the room. I'm like, damn, you ain't, that's rough, nigga.
That shit fucked out. Or when, what's that one dude? What's that one light-skinned actor? Michael Ealy, when he killed the kids and colored girls and shit. Yeah, he got the kids hanging out the window.
Tears would have been instantly.
I was going to jokingly say Michael Ealy, too.
They falling in slow motion and shit. Like Chris Brown in that one video.
The movie was good. It is long, but it's a good story. It's just hard to watch a lot because it's so long.
I never. Because once I heard she could have saved him, I was like, why am I watching her let him die?
I got out of that. She must have some fire.
His arms was weak. That's his fault.
The whole thing is about a nigga who died being a simp.
That's
like,
what I did.
Did he even hit? Like I can't remember.
I said she had fire mouth.
Hit one time and you're dying for a broad. I'm sorry, bro. Like
she was beautiful though.
Only thing I'll give him is at least he did smash her.
And she was like an orange head too.
If I could hit Ruby Rose and they say you're gonna die in
she
the
had
day.
the red lipstick on. Man, he was going.
I'm gonna think about it.
But
I'm gonna think about it.
You know what's crazy?
Small town boy. Wasn't he from Wisconsin? Or he from
I don't know where he's from, but he's a pack now.
He wasn't from.
He's a frozen pack because his ass didn't have no room on that board. But at the end of the day, what happened was, and that wasn't based on the real life story or nothing, but there are some real life stories that connect to the Ocean Gate and these submarine tours that's been happening. Because I don't know if y'all remember the couple that was on Titanic that was in the bed together as the water was coming down. That was based on a real life couple who their family has been visiting down in Ocean Gate. Because we was talking about the submarine tours, and a lot of people are like, why are these stupid people doing this and stuff? Well, part of the reason is some of these are ancestors of the people who died on the Titanic who want to go pay homage and, pay their respects. Unless that's what they feel like. So it's kind of complicated, but we fast forward to a couple weeks ago where there was one last voyage, and for those of you guys don't know about the ocean, it's a big ass place. We know more about the moon than we know about the bottoms of the ocean. We know more about Mars right now than we know about the bottoms of the ocean. Like, the ocean is a dark, scary, crazy place. I wouldn't want to be out there in that motherfucker. This is a scary motherfucking place. Like, I'd rather go to space one good time and come back with Elon Musk and them than be out there just in the middle of the ocean floating. It's just scary.
But see, that's the problem. Elon Musk, the billionaires, they the ones getting took out because they doing this goofy. They out here $250K.
His came back though.
Yeah, but he must have paid $500. It must be a bring back.
Well, him and Bezos are. See, him and Bezos are barely going past orbit, so they're safe. This place went past where other submersibles, submarines, like there's
on the scale, ain't even no whales down there.
So let me break this question. Let me bring you this question. If you had to go on one, at gunpoint, you had to go on one, would you rather get on the Elon rocket? Because, you know, some of Elon's rockets then blew up midair, too. Like, he's had some failed launch.
A lot of non-NASA rockets have been blown up.
Yeah, a lot of NASA, exactly. I mean, but at the end of the day, just like a lot of planes have crashed, it's still safer to get on a plane than it is to get on a car. So sometimes when you're dealing with space or underwater, we're always going to highlight the bad shit first because it's scary. We're always going to highlight the bad shit first.
To answer your question, like, if I had to really go in space, not just tip orbit.
Space or submarine?
I'm going to say space. One, I'm claustrophobic. Even like real submarines, because that was just like a 20-foot like closet. There was no bathroom. Like, when the details came out, it was very scary. They couldn't even get out because they were welded in. They weren't supposed to do it. It was a lot. There's people who came out who was like, I passed on the last minute. Mr. Beast is cloud chasing. Even James Cameron, the man who made Titanic, I knew I was talking about guys like he's gonna flex because he actually has been down like 20 times. So he's like an expert. So he was quickly to flex. I'm claustrophobic. I'd rather go in space. Like I said, real submarines, I think about it like you're really like, it's like a hotel underwater, but you're really underwater. What happens with major mechanical issues? Like, I'm always thinking, I was on a roller coaster. I was at Greek Fest on a ride the whole time thinking, I don't trust this engineer. So I'm all about this engineering. And the older I get, I'm a little mysterious. I don't want to skydive no more. I've been in the ocean. I've been stranded in the ocean. I am a safe, scary nigga, and I kind of understand why niggas is like, they stupid. I don't think they're stupid. I think they're rich and get on their comfort zone. I hate that niggas are so scared of everything, but
because we're niggas, we risk our life doing basic.
Like, niggas don't even take a bath, barely. Niggas don't even wash their ass. So I know most niggas is not going in no submarine. Like, stop it. Like, we know the answer to this.
I don't think I saw any.
But I mean, how much would it pay? Like Brian, how much would it cost for you to get down in the submarine? Like, they say we're gonna give they pay $250,000 to go down there. Let's say we're gonna pay you $250,000 to get in the submarine and do some research and go down there. Is that enough to get you down there?
If I'm paying that much money, it would just most likely be me. Y'all gotta fix this up. Where my money going? They literally had a bad.
No, I'm saying they pay you.
They paying me or not?
No, I'm just an example. Like, if they pay you $250,000 instead of you having to pay them, would you still go?
No.
You can pass that to your kid though. Really, that's a nice little inheritance.
He's gonna get it directly. Ain't no
I don't want to just voluntarily die though for the. I feel like I can get more money out the mud than that.
Here's the fucked up part. Here's the fucked up part. For those of you guys,
want to die, they say that.
I ain't finna voluntarily.
But I don't think nobody here made $250 in a year. So I don't know. One little week trip, you might.
That's if you make it back.
Yeah. Well, here's the fucked up part about.
You can get hit by a car going outside. You can get AIDS and your dick sucked. So it's like,
shit. They could also lie and say, "Oh yeah, well, actually, it was if he made it back, he's gonna get the money."
I gotta hit the deposit beforehand.
Got to read the fine print, and that's the thing with these people who died on the submersible. They waived away a lot of their rights. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these people that have to do with this fucked up ass situation.
To be fair, sorry, they are rich. You know, the only person who really wasn't rich was probably the CEO, even though he was kind of nigga. So everybody was rich. There was a 19-year-old kid. You're 19. You're a billion. You ain't even really.
Let's talk about the 19-year-old because the 19-year-old didn't want to go.
Oh, really?
The mom was actually supposed to go. So there was a family, a billionaire family. The mom was supposed to go, but at the last minute, the mom said, "You know what? It's Father's Day. I think it'd be better if you go with your dad." And then the guy, the boy, he was scared. He didn't want to go. But at the last minute, he felt bad and didn't want to disappoint his father on Father's Day. He said, "You know what, Mom? Fuck it. I'll go." So she got to deal with that guilt of giving her pass to her son.
It's a lot of guilt. She have $1 billion and a new nigga she's sucking off in a week. So
I mean,
I was about to say, I don't know. That might have been a come. She could have got 2 checks.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Got
I didn't think about that.
Life insurance or both.
I didn't think about
you know-
that.
you
She
know
could
that
have been
happened
in
with-
on the controller.
you know that
Like,
happened
take
with,
the batteries out of the controller.
Sorry, that happened with Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy. He was supposed to be on one of those planes at 9/11 and like missed his flight. Like, so a lot of those Final Destination shits, they do happen. Like, that's kind of scary. Can we talk about the guy again? This is old, but you know we haven't been together in a while. We got to talk about the stepson of one of the billionaires who got the flack when they were looking for it.
Yeah,
Because you remember he went to a Blink-182
I
show.
saw, yeah, he was talking
I was
to
on Twitter.
OnlyFans models on Twitter.
He was liking bad little white chicks on Twitter, and he kept defending himself. And Cardi B called him out, and I was like, I kind of don't feel bad for him, but I would just say it is a bad look. Like, you can't.
But
be
the
out
more
partying
we talk about this, the more like, what if this whole thing was a setup? Like, what if all these family members of these billionaires said, "Come on, like these motherfuckers about to go in the submarine. We about to sabotage this shit. Once they die, we all gonna get our little cut." Like the mom got the cut. Oh, she gonna give her ticket away last minute. It'd be crazy.
I would say it would be a conspiracy if the CEO didn't die. That's how I just know they forced it. If he didn't, I would 100% think it was a setup. I think it was. I think when they were waiting, I think there was a few beneficiaries that was kind of like, please don't find them. Like I said, the stepson. That's, mind you, that is your stepdad. But he's also thinking, I'm still getting the check.
Stepdaddy ain't blood, so stepdaddy out there. I'm sorry, I might be crossing my fingers.
And he also was telling everybody how he was broke, and he like, my dad's a billionaire, not me. So
yeah, he kind of gave his one.
That's nepotism. Nepo baby's favorite line.
You're right.
I'm not broke. My family got. No, stop it. How you going to Blink-182 concerts if you broke? Stop it.
The stipend.
Breezy, if you had to choose, Breezy, are you getting on the Elon Musk rocket or are you going to get on a submersible? Each one will pay you $250,000 if you pick whatever one you want to pick. One ride.
How long are you?
I don't think I would do either.
1 hour. So you just want to take the money.
I wouldn't take the money.
I would go to space.
But if I had to choose, I would go to space.
Okay.
But if I had the option to not choose,
You always got the option to not choose shit. You always got that.
So you going?
nope, I don't
with
like
that,
taking
with
no
Ocean Gate,
chances.
or
I'm
you going
barely
with the Navy.
going on an
I
airplane.
go with the Navy.
Well, we'll say
Navy.
Navy just to make it more safe and equine
Why
because
the Navy-
Ocean Gate recently having a.
Why would the Navy take our random black asses down there for $250?
They want to
true.
give
You
us a tour of what if I want to
Submersible. You in a
enlist?
closet, nigga, scared. We're not giving you no free
With
money.
an Xbox controller.
We could do Navy and NASA. We could do Navy and NASA. Just put it on even footing, equal funding.
Well, if we doing
footing.
Navy, I might go in the water. Like I said, shit be blowing up in space now. NASA.
So yeah, where'd you
I
go?
don't hear a lot about submarines like never coming
Or
back.
what if
Right.
we can't get back down? They like, oh, we
Late.
got another spaceship to come get you.
Like, how the fuck we gonna get out this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, what would you rather do? Go on a fucking submarine with the Navy. You got to be down in the water for an hour, and you got to get as low as they can possibly go, or get in a rocket with NASA, go as far as they can possibly go, and come back.
Going to space would be dope.
See, me, I'm gonna go in space, and my reasoning is a little differently. In
Some
space,
alien top.
no, in space, if something goes wrong, so we die quicker.
I don't know. They imploded pretty fast, and they should turn the ground
But
beef
see, here's
really
the thing.
fast.
But this is what they're not telling you. Before you implode, guess what goes off?
Yeah.
There's like a little warning pressure light that goes off that before that even happened. So however many minutes that was, I don't want to be in my tomb having to wait and count down my death.
Yeah.
If I die, I just want to be back. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I turn around like, oh, there go Tupac and Biggie over there. Where am I at? What club is this?
'Cause
That's what I want. I don't want to be.
That's happened in space. I think it was like the Discovery. It was one of those that exploded.
Imploded.
And there was a teacher that won a contest who went up in space when the capsule exploded. I remember seeing that documentary. So it gets tough. That's why I said. That's why with the Jeff Bezos and Elon shit, they're really just going into orbit. Like there's a guy who, like a German guy for Red Bull, who free jumped with a parachute from space. So he was technically in space, but it wasn't like he was in orbit. Like he's barely in orbit. And I think to prevent that, they'll pay. It's 100 racks for the SpaceX shit and Jeff Bezos shit and all that. I guess is it. And like I said, you're going just to where you go out. You know, because Pete Davidson is doing it. I think it's a little safer because they're trying to go to Mars. Now, what I want to know, or what I want to see, is the first trip to Mars with random people. That's what I want to see. Yeah, it's cute.
I'll
It's like you
pass.
putting a tip in. I want to see a nigga go all the way out there. Nah, I
Yeah,
want to see that.
yeah.
Nah, what rich people want to do that?
That's gonna happen. Like I said, I'm gonna let the first couple ones die off first to let them perfect it. So for whoever wants to be the test dummies for the first couple rides for everybody, then once it becomes a regular routine and they can tell me, this is what they always say: you have a better chance of dying in a car than once they start saying shit like that. That's how I know they ready. That's how I know they ready.
I want to
Right
see
now,
though
no.
how long. So how long does it take now though to get there?
To
Get to
space?
Mars?
To Mars.
I don't know.
This is a good question, producer,
Don't
because
take
it
a
will
couple
know.
days.
It
like-
would be years, wouldn't it?
Nah.
No, it take like 7 days, 13 days or something.
All I
I
know
don't
is-
know how fast these spaceships is.
Yeah,
All I know is that when you look at these spaceships, only like 5% of it is actually the ship. 90% of it is just a big ass fuel because you need
Yeah.
fuel on top of fuel on top of fuel.
Ah.
So you just ride on a big ass bomb basically and shit. So any little thing,
That's what a motherfucker be on
any
fire
little
on the
thing go
way up.
wrong.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Ooh,
Any little
if I
thing
see the
go
first
wrong.
one let off, I'm gonna be like, nah, fuck this.
Then
shit.
here's another one. Here's another thing, the thing that people don't talk about when it comes to these spaceships. So shout out to the NASA astronauts. But sometimes you can come down and you land, and something might happen where you get knocked off course, or you're one little coordinate off. Now you land in the middle of the ocean or some shit. So you got to wait for the Coast Guards or some shit to come and get you and shit. We talk about the ocean. Shit, I don't want to be out in the middle of fucking the Pacific, middle of the Atlantic. Shit, sitting there watching the submersible niggas go underwater and shit. I'm waiting on some savior. That's scary to me.
You
I
have
don't-
to do no random jump out the plane shit in the army? I don't know.
We jumped out of planes, but it was like mostly
control.
so like in Iraq or any type of war zone, you can't use a traditional airport.
Okay.
They got what you call combat landing, where they just pretty much drop the plane like 100 feet at a time, just dropping it in the air, and then at one point you randomly kind of just do a back assault drop, they call it, with a rope.
you go in your back.
To go back.
Shit,
Now
that's scary.
there is places where you can almost get like a commercial style on base landing, but like when I had to come back here in '09, I believe I came back home for leave for 2 weeks. So it was crazy because they had to get to where I was at in the desert. I had to take like this fucking Humvee to a city that took me to a bus, that took me to a helicopter, that took me to Ireland, that took me to Germany, that took me to the airport. So it's crazy getting back and forth. And I think that's not just limited to the Army. Anywhere you travel that don't got like traditional airports, like that's how you got to get around. Like if you want to go somewhere like the Amazon or these crazy places, you got to take a fucking plane to a bus to a boat to a shit. Like it's some crazy shit. And I do want to experience one of those trips. But
It takes, just so you guys know, it takes 9 months to a few years to get to Mars.
9 months.
9 months to a few years.
But that's with
Really?
robots riding, right? Not niggas fucking it up arguing over the navigation and shit. Nigga, you done went the wrong way. We on our way to Saturn, bro.
Oxygen, food, and supplies are probably going to be disappearing. So that's why.
Damn, I didn't know it was that long.
Because you need, and it's going to be.
I just thought about it because on the even
And
when
all
you
of that affects the speed of the spacecraft, too. So
yeah, because on our fictional relay of the planets, Mars is a little far. Like when we start getting to the other parts of the planets, it get further and further away. But
who knows the planets in order?
I don't remember.
Who knows the planets in order?
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
That's actually that's pretty impressive. I think
Pluto is not a planet.
that left my.
I know.
Well, yeah,
I
it's a
just wanted
dwarf
to-
planet, but fucking we rolling with Pluto because we grew up
Smarter
with
than
Pluto.
a fifth
but
grader. Let's go.
We're not finna trade on our day one planets. Fuck y'all.
You
Okay,
ain't
Pluto
wrong.
is a planet. Fuck you niggas. Shout out Future. Okay, niggas be trying to change it up after y'all done brainwashed us with this shit for 20 years and shit. No, never. Actually, 1 + 1 is no longer 2. We're gonna make it 3. No, fuck
It
you,
wouldn't be no future without that planet.
Pluto. Another thing we gonna talk about on this planet, which is kind of funny, is y'all boy Clarence Thomas, the predecessor of the great Thurgood Marshall, the Uncle Tom of all Uncle Toms, that pretty much Uncle Ruckus with a judge robe on. And it's crazy because we're gonna talk about him because recently they kind of rolled back all the laws that allow you to do affirmative action. And for the record, when we talk about affirmative action, for the record, the number one beneficiaries of affirmative action are white women. I repeat, the number one beneficiaries for affirmative action are white women. And a second thing I want to reiterate when we talk about this affirmative action. This bill affirmative action didn't start getting backlash because a bunch of racist white people went and said, oh, we got to stop these niggas. No, that's not what happened. The Asian community was complaining about this, saying that black people are getting preferential treatment over us, and we're doing better in school, and we're doing better, and we're the better candidates. But they felt like the black people were getting an edge because of affirmative action. So the Asians led the fight on this to stop this. That's what people don't know. Lead them. Lead them did
All
this.
the Asian things, Sasha.
So let's say I didn't think about that. So I just want everybody to think about that before we start throwing our stones and slandering. Now another thing we gotta talk about. Let's do a little history lesson. Let's back up and talk about Mr. Clarence Thomas. His name is Clarence. What Eminem say? His name is Clarence. Grew up with two parents. And he did grow up with two parents. And not only that, but his name is Clarence, and he got his spot because of affirmative action. Ain't that bottom? Not only did he get his spot because of affirmative action that allowed him to get this spot, but he also at one point was the leader of the EEOC, the Equal. What is that? I forgot. No, the Equal something rights opportunity, whatever. But I know it's equal in that bitch.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Now you talk to him and they ask him about diversity and they ask him about, racism. He says, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know that. And it's crazy to me how you got these smart people in office, but when it comes down to politics, motherfuckers will pretend they stupid as a bitch.
Eric, what are you supposed to say? Yeah, fuck them niggas, fuck the eight. Like, of course, you're gonna say I don't know. You're gonna keep it political. You're not supposed to. That's why they're politicians.
But if you ran, but if everything, you're right. But what he was saying was just ignorant. All that I don't know. He didn't have to say he doesn't know what that means. He was being an asshole on purpose because he's trying to appease his new base. The problem is you can't run on all of this shit. You can't. That's like KD talking shit about Bron. Like at this point, you did all the same shit. You can't talk shit about people using.
I think it's cheap to go after Clarence Thomas when 5 or 6 had to do the vote. Okay, he's black, but he's been this for a while. So I think it's just an easy target because people don't really know the other judges. Not saying you, but I'm like, we're really shocked that Clarence Thomas voted against
because they're white. I expect white people.
But I would expect him. What has he voted for niggas? We know Clarence Thomas is a coon. I don't know. You know, to edit it out. We know that he has the white wife. He's been accepted. Why are we? That's like being shocked that.
Scratch all the him being a coon shit away. Let's say he is a coon. Let's say he's all these things.
Your thing is
because you benefited from it. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Like if we can take race out the equation, we can take all that out of the equation. If I benefit from something, and then that's just like putting the ladder up. You get your ass up there, and then you look down. You knock the ladder up so nobody can come behind you. That to me is a new level of bitch ass.
I don't think he's knocking the ladder down. So you didn't contradict yourself. You really said it didn't benefit us. So honestly, to me, the Rooney Rule in football, where you have to interview a black coach, the affirmative action, that was for niggas, but we already knew all the other groups have used us as a stepping stone. And other groups, you said white women, gay white men, disabled white people that claim to be Hispanic, white people who are from Africa because they're African Americans. Elon Musk, Scarlett Johansson, you from South Africa, you're African American. So it ain't just white women, it's all these other groups. And the fact that Asians are mad, we're gonna see how Harvard and they're gonna take the hits, the jobs. We knew, like we always complain about football.
Wait, you say Asians are gonna take the hits?
Asians are the one. That's why they're mad that affirmative. Asians benefit the most out of it. Black people, we benefit from it, but other groups have surpassed us in what the tangibles they got from us.
I think Asians are going to benefit from it.
No, they're going to
benefit. Because they just threw a temper tantrum because they felt like we were benefiting more.
But the Asians, okay, they have a lot of them have good grades, but if you're migrating stuff, you're getting in because you're Asian. Affirmative action is for minorities, not just black people. So I'm telling you, all these other groups have been eating off us. Even Africans, black Africans, everybody want to talk shit about niggas, but we laid this foundation. Y'all are getting them while we talk about reparations. Niggas, what the fuck? But you got AAPI bills passed. You got Asian hate crime bills passed. Y'all got added to AAPI. Asians are eating. So now that they're up, what they do is they use us. They get buddy with the white people. They think they're eye level with the white people. Then they're kicking the ladder down. So Clarence Thomas didn't really fuck us over because we weren't really eating. All we did was get interviews. You got to interview a certain black person. You may have to hire this black. Remember the episode of Living Single when Kyle didn't want to cut his hair because he was nigga. I want to cut my hair so fast. So me and my mom joke about it. Like there's a few interviews or opportunities you're gonna get, but just because you're black, you're not getting put in this school. Now they may need because it used to be we need 5 black people, 6 black people. Now it's minority. So like I said, now white people can be minorities. I'm gay, so. Black people have been phased out of affirmative action. To me, it's not even a big deal. Y'all can have it. Fuck it. We wasn't doing shit with it anyways. We wasn't getting aid, and Asians will be hurt by it. Trust me. Because a lot of spaces, because the thing is, they're not white people. Cubans, all these other groups think they're white. And when y'all think y'all eye level, they're gonna humble you like we've been humbled. That's why I be funny with coons. Wait. You're just the black token. Let's stop. You're the yellow token. You're the brown token. They're all tokens, and it's gonna be an evil playing field, which means white people will be winning, and they level it all out again.
That's the point because, like I said, that's the reason why I give Clarence Thomas is the slander. I was slandering him to set the slander up for the other niggas. Really, it was like an alley-oop slander because Clarence Thomas deserves slander because he's setting up a path that even he's not going to benefit of later on. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, they're going to remind him that he's a nigga eventually,
and
even though he think he's in bed.
You know
with
who say
now.
that? And that line you say, not white, liberal, racist people say that. I've heard that. Even when abortion, Clarence Thomas, you're still a nigger. No, I've seen that, but they try to.
They're gonna remind his ass about that.
So I'm like, he's right, but at the same time, he's good. He's set for life.
No, he's set for life personally,
and his kids will be set for life.
But see, at this point, with people like him that got the power and the money, it's more about money. They're living for legacy now. It's all about legacy and being able to.
You say the same thing about your vice president, Kamala?
No, Kamala's not set for life. That's different.
But remember, she's like, why would I do something for black people? Why would I like? She told us off the rip and still got a vote. So I'm saying, does she get the same flack?
Kamala is the most slandered politician. Probably her and AOC, from what I see, are the most slandered politicians in politics.
I don't think it's slander. She ain't did shit.
Well, I mean, regardless of what it is, they get the most disrespect or people coming at them sideways. So I don't get me wrong. I don't think Kamala's a good vice president at all. But at the same time, I kind of hold I call my slander back from her because it's like, I don't like how people like Kamala, however she want to pronounce her corny ass name.
No, Kamala too ethnic. She's Kamala.
Yeah. So I don't like how it's so easy to pile on her, but when everybody else is like, we don't get that same.
Everybody
slander.
gets piled on politically, Eric.
Not like black women do. Black women get like Stacey Abrams. No, she gets slandered like a motherfucker. Like,
you don't think Trump or DeSantis or nobody from the left?
They get slandered, but it's like there's a certain code of conduct when it comes to dealing with white men that doesn't apply to anybody else, especially in the media. Like, if you slander Trump,
they try to arrest and impeach Trump for like 4 or 5 years.
Like, what did he do? Like I said, he did a crime. If you do a crime, I'm talking about people who did not commit crimes. Yeah. I'm talking about people who didn't do nothing wrong. Like as a person of color on politics, you can get slandered just for being you, just for existing. Now, if you say something outlandish in the media slander, that's different. But we're talking about a motherfucker. I just disagree with your politics.
I've heard her say, "I'm not doing that for black people." I just feel like that's pretty egregious to say. I think she's on the same level as Clarence Thomas, to be perfectly honest.
I wouldn't disagree with it.
That's all I'm saying. I just feel like I know you're a pro. Like I wish we can go back because after like the last 3.5 years, your political views have changed like 180. Like you're not so
really. I mean, I kind of been the same. It's just that the political people.
You all over the place. You going to Pride events. You Republican now. I don't know what's going on with this new Eric.
No, I can't. You're in a new tax bracket. I can't fuck with Republicans. But what I will say is, I just don't no longer get sucked into the bullshit of just people voting for one party just because they feel like that's what we're supposed to do. But at the same time,
we're black.
At the same time, when it comes to black people like Obama and all that other shit, I'm not finna. If they're getting slander, I'm not gonna add on to it unless. Yeah. The only reason I'm talking about Clarence Thomas and I feel like this was egregious is because you're doing some shit that you feel like is gonna be a legacy personal move for you. I see it's like watching like the political show. I watch House of Cards on those shows. They do all this like political move shit, but to go on to what you say about the Asians and stuff being in bed with the white man. They're gonna X out Clarence Thomas and the white dudes. There's gonna be an Asian guy that takes his spot eventually anyway.
Yeah,
they
when
probably already got an Asian
but
judge
when,
ready.
But
for
when
him.
he's dead though, like it ain't
No,
like
but
he's gonna,
still-
it's not like he's gonna be out of office in 2 years. That's a lifetime job,
But
right?
I'm saying to me, what pisses me off is Clarence Thomas is pretty much a walking example of why you're right. Affirmative action is irrelevant because the whole point of it was white people have so many people in these powerful positions that they can influence the hiring structure. They can influence a bias.
I agree.
So they were trying to take away a bias. Or not necessarily take away a bias, but saying, look, we're going to give black people their bias too. You can have people. But the problem is that will never work because white people have so much power that even when black people get to these positions, they're still going to defer to the white man. So he's a walking example of why the shit never worked in the first place.
I agree.
Because once you reach a certain level, you're going, and that's not just limited to him. That's all of us. I work in a job where the higher I get, the more white guys I'm around I have to answer to now.
Eric, you
all the
be
fucking time.
talking about you be ready to fire random niggas all the time. Sometimes when you elevate, you're done with bum niggas.
They be trying-
He's
no, but
done with
those
bum niggas with handouts.
But my thing is,
You're Eric Thomas.
But
sorry.
my thing is, no, hell no.
Clarence
But my
Dillon
thing
shit.
is, the people I get rid of, it's always a reason. It's always people that's trash. People are just trash workers of all. Once you get to a leadership position, a certain level, you realize
And
that everybody's pretty much trash.
And I agree. And you're
White
more,
people shit just gets brushed under the rug
You're
more
more
than
pro
everybody else.
interracial marriage too. Like you're changing, Eric. I'm sorry, Clarence. You're like Clarence. I want a white girl. Like you're.
I gotta stop sharing all my group chat shit with Colin because this nigga be bringing. I had to cut him off from some of my shit because this nigga be bringing up too much shit on
I'm
the
just
show.
saying you're changing, and I just want you to
No.
be like, you know what? It's a new day.
Now
out
I'm
here,
getting.
all right?
I don't want to get too off topic defending myself, but
Let me stop.
I'm like,
I like painting you as Charleston White, but overall you're right. You know, I have to play the opposing side, but I just start realizing a lot of this, some of this black issue stuff. Not to get too political, we all over the place. I'm not up in arms because I realize black people, we didn't gatekeep right. We let a lot of people use us as stepping stones.
That's what I'm trying
and
to say,
we just
though.
don't benefit from it no more. So if Clarence Thomas was the
wish
deciding
it
vote,
was-
if Clarence Thomas was the deciding vote, I would agree with you 100%. He was one vote. So yeah, he could have voted for, and it would have helped him get his dick sucked by black people. But he's like, y'all don't serve me, y'all don't pay me. So I understand why he made that business move. That's why we're not politicians, because we have morals, we have scruples. We're not gonna sell out. Some people are selling out. Some people are David Clark. Some people are coon ass niggas. That's what was the politician that went down and got caught with the gay dudes down south in Florida? Wow. Some people are like that.
But it's like,
we have so
you can be like that, but you don't have to do it and put these little
Eric,
statements
you
out.
want to be where Clarence
You
Thomas
don't. He
is
don't
at.
have to say shit. Just vote the way you vote and keep going. The votes is what speak to who the people that in charge of him. They don't give a fuck what he's saying in public. As long as you're voting to make sure we keep our pockets fat, all that shit is irrelevant. Once you start going beyond, it's like, okay, you already working for Master, but you gotta jive and shuck and all this other shit, bullshit. Like, just do what Master say and keep it moving. We don't need all the extra.
I want to know the price that you
shit.
would start shucking and jiving. I feel like you have. What's your price?
No, I
Where you
when it comes to
gun line, boss?
When it comes to shucking and jiving, there is no price for that. Once
I
you
got
start
a price.
doing that,
It might be high, but I got a price.
I'm cool. 'Cause
I'm
like I
house
said,
slaving it up.
Like I
200
said,
racks,
now, don't get me
100
wrong.
racks,
I'll
six
do a
figures.
lot of shit for money, or I'll compromise a lot of shit. But when it comes to that type of shit where you're overly trying to, because my thing is I get too nauseous having to bend over for white people that much. I get nauseous now. That anybody, and that's anybody having to suck white dick every day. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Every day like a fucking porn star. Like, shout out to Lena the Plug, Adam 22. I couldn't do it. It's just too much.
Well, that's cucking. That's a whole different.
It's too much.
That's wild.
Other thing though,
Is cucking bad though?
If you like, hey, if that's they flow.
They say you insecure if you don't want your woman getting hit by a porn
They
star
say
random nigga.
you gay if you eat breakfast, so I don't care what nobody say no more. I
also, this is my last episode without a shot, without drinking ever. I would never not drink before the podcast again. It's just I don't have enough juice that I need right now. But we gotta talk about somebody who did have the juice that he needed, and that was the guy who shot the guy who was trying to beat his mom up. I know everybody saw that Chicago video.
Thought something was missing.
I know everybody saw that shit. They were at a hot dog joint. I don't know exactly where they were at, But long story
I'm
short,
surprised our producer and tell her any Chicago or
right.
Dalton shit or Harvey shit. She
We
know
need
all
a
the
King
top.
Yellow feature so he can
She
give
know all
us
the little Joaquin and shit, but she don't know that.
we need a King Yellow feature where he might, actually they was in the GD area and there's a war going on 65th, so these motherfuckers be like Don Lemon or ghetto gangster shit, bro. So shout out to him. But long story short, they was at a hot dog spot. Mom goes in there. Then she gets into an argument with some guy that's in there. And everybody knows how the video goes. You can see on the other cameras that her son came out, saw what was going on, went back to the car, got the strap, came back, shot the guy in the head as he was brutally savaging, just straight Donkey Kong punching his mom. I mean, he was straight murdering, cocking back like LeBron on a fast break dunk and hitting his mama. It was just absolutely unacceptable. So he got
Was
what he
it
was.
unacceptable? I mean,
It was-
he
yes.
did.
It was
Listen,
absolutely
I'm not
unacceptable.
for it. It was wrong. He deserved it. He did say, "Shut up or else."
Hell
Once
no.
you put that ultimatum
That was a
out,
threat.
now I don't like the ultimatum because when the woman disobeys it, you have to slap her. I'm sorry, I hate it. I know you got to
Pimp
cut this.
Colin.
Listen, I'm not. But
Absolutely not.
if I say,
Pimp C
slap,
over
whoa,
there.
if I say anybody in the world, shut up or else, and they don't shut up, I have to slap them. Now I don't.
No,
put
that means you walk away.
I agree. She should have walked away. Don't argue with no grown crazy niggas. Women.
And that's why, like I
Don't
said,
put
and that's
your
why he's
hands
a
on
pack
women.
now. That's why he's rolled up now.
Exactly.
Oh, he's
Because
a
you don't
pack,
know
yeah.
who.
Because
if-
she had a sick'em dog. I'm gonna say
that-
my
hey,
young
you don't
nigga
know.
off.
You don't know what people got. That's why you
I
don't play
agree.
with people. That's why you don't hit nobody, let alone a mom. You don't do that to niggas, let alone a mom.
That's why I say,
So-
men, when women are yelling at you, you have to. I know people hate this. You gotta treat them like a little kid, because that's what the repercussions are. I don't.
But that's
And I'm
where
almost
that's why he got
positive-
killed though.
I'm
No, no, no,
positive
I'm
that
saying,
probably
no.
wasn't the first time she saw her mom getting hit.
Yeah, you
No,
don't
and
know.
I-
what-
That's
no.
why he had to.
he deserved it. Now, I for sure would have lost money. Now I wanted. Now when I remember the article came out, I don't remember what publication it came out. You know, right wing people own. So I don't know where it came out. So what I read at first when we first dropped the story, we was like, oh, she needs to get out of here, because it seemed like she was talking shit. Slap the dude, like the police. The way the article made it seem like it was like, go get this guy, kill him, follow him. Then when we saw the video, it was a complete 180. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, he deserved it.
And she literally told him to get back in the car. Like she
Yeah.
was gonna take the ass. That's the reason why she was gonna take the ass whooping.
Well,
She told her son to go back in the car. Like you can clearly hear it on the video. So my thing is, you in a situation like that, you saying shut the fuck up. Now it'll be my opinion would be a little different if she was putting her hands on him, or if she was reaching or doing something where he had a legitimate reason to fear for his safety or
No
his life.
finger in the face,
Exactly.
none of
Bro,
that.
but she wasn't. Her voice wasn't even. This is a Chicago woman, some of the loudest people in the world. You could barely hear what she was saying, bro. Like that's absolutely unacceptable. She barely could. She didn't even yell. I didn't hear no fucks. I didn't hear no bitch ass niggas. I didn't hear none of that. What I heard was a triggered nigga. He looked like he might have been a little slow, a little bit off. He probably was already having a bad day.
He
Probably
probably
bought a stale blunt. Lighter didn't work. Couldn't smoke. Went in there trying to get his little Italian beef. Mad because that's his last $8 till he re-up. And he got mad and snapped off about some crazy ass
No,
shit.
I agree.
And he got caught. And that's why you don't play with people like that, because nowadays you never know. Motherfucking mama will pull the strap out and shoot your shit.
I seen the video like in Detroit. It was like a bounce house, and it was like a 14, 15-year-old, but he was like 6'1", 260. He was fighting a grown man in like a urban air type place, and the mom came got her shit from the purse, shot him dead. So my thing is, I'm for keep your hands to yourself. I don't care if you gay, straight, crippled, black, white, man or woman. I'm for keep your hands to yourself. He deserved everything he got. I don't condone hitting women. I don't even joke. I don't condone hitting women. I just want black people. I think we have the worst conflict resolution skills in the world. We have too much pride, too much ego. And I walk away. I tell people I'm proud CCW, open carry. I got my strap 99% of the time, but I know I have the conflict resolution because I got the power of life in my hand in a quick second. So I am all for let's talk. I've learned walk away. I let niggas quote unquote hold me because I'm like, I could really fuck some whole shit up. I just think when I see a crazy nigga, I move on. So I think men, women, black, when you see niggas talking crazy, just walk away. Let them have it. I had an incident at the fucking night market where some niggas was talking crazy. window down, mugging me, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm gonna have to air this bitch out with my girl, and we got. But I had to start no, for real. It was real shit, and the nigga was. I'm like, you don't know who's crazy. That's the thing.
Well, that's
we
why-
don't know who's crazy, having a bad day, or ready to end it all. Next nigga who look at me, I'm gonna kill him. That's real. So
That's why
this
when I see
video
black
was
people
really-
arguing, I just get out. When black people argue, I don't care if it start off the lightest. If I so much as see black people ribbing, I'm
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Because I
Nowadays,
know
nowadays.
there's no limit and there's too much pride involved with niggas to where anybody's gonna stop me. But man, fuck it, I ain't on that. It's just gonna keep on going till it go too far because we just can't. We have no line to be
Like,
crossed.
I'm gonna ask Bree, like, okay, you're a mom.
I was
You're-
about to
you're-
answer the same question.
I'm gonna say your son is getting. He not there yet, but in 3-4 years, like you getting what? How do you go about? Hey, go get the strap. Go knock him out.
Pretty
go
much, are
stab
you a
him,
get
what-
back in the car mom and take your ass whooping, or you a go get the strap mom? What kind of mom are you? Because she was actually, he went and got the strap anyway. So it comes down to how you raise your
That
kid.
might have just been the code for go get the strap. You just never know what they had. Communication.
That's true. Well,
You know how we tell our
and
kids,
Tyreek.
you know, like if you see me in distress, like I was trying to teach my son about when to call 911 because you know you can do it from the phone from the lock screen, you know. So I'm pretty sure, you know, if it's just her and her son, they probably had that talk. He did what he needed to do. I would definitely tell my son to probably, if I was getting hauled, I mean, my son is not gonna let that happen. He definitely wouldn't be going to the car. So I mean, unless he was going to get the strap.
You not arguing with a crazy grown nigga cussing you out.
Yeah, I really
That's
don't.
true.
You not cussing. You not.
But
going
beyond that,
But the
though,
way she was
What's
getting
beyond
hit,
that?
though, I mean,
back. She was getting. You know.
think about
But here's the thing, though, too.
Shut up though.
How many women do you know? How many women do any of y'all know that if a man start talking shit, they're gonna actually back down and shut
You
up?
mean black women or non-black women?
We'll go black women.
Very low, very low. But that's what I say. You don't even throw.
They're
that
not finna
You
stop.
don't throw that ultimatum out there. That's a setup. I know that.
So as a
He was stupid. He did everything wrong.
So as a black man, I think it's kind of knowing this. That's one of those things that we have to learn how to get up out of that situation. Because a black woman, she's gonna do a Marcus Smart where she's gonna stand there, take the hit, and flop afterwards. So you gotta know how to
That's
Euro
true.
step her out of that problem. You gotta Euro out of that.
I also think though, like y'all right. Like I agree to what y'all saying that, like you said, he died, he got shot by the kid. That's right, but her son ain't never gonna be the same.
No, he's
That's
gonna
true.
be affected the most.
and it's
Tyreek
like,
St. Patrick status.
because that's also just that's like you said, back to just black dudes. It's like this is why we had to, even if it's a broken family, we got to have some kind of protection for each other or something. Because why is a boy protecting a grown ass woman?
Well, it go down to what
So
Colin
it's
said.
like,
That's deep. That is deep.
That's just the problem with
Right.
me. I'm never sending nobody. My dad would never send me to handle no business for he's supposed to
Right.
handle. So that's just the
We
thing.
saw that with John Morant. His mom was getting into somebody she called John Morant.
Right.
$200 million man. You call him
Well,
some
that's why
little nigga.
baby mama, baby daddy
You gotta-
culture.
Yeah.
I can't really support the baby mama, baby daddy culture. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a mama, baby daddy. It's 2023. You can't stay with everybody.
So
You
can
can't
I
stay
ask
in bad
this? I don't want to
situations.
transition to another topic, but I guess I will. Like, I was thinking, like, okay, Tariq Nasheed went very viral because he was on a podcast and he basically was like, the problem with the black community is all these black men are doing black youth wrong. So the debate came because there was a lot of single niggas with no kids. It's like, well, why do we got to take care of these random kids if women are, you know? Then it turned into the typical single person, single man versus single mom conversation. And he didn't have his conversation was great. We should all mentor, but it always made me go back to the quote I say is, if you're an honest man in the middle, you're single, you pay your bills, you work, you're always going to get fucked over. So do you feel like it's the black man's responsibility? Because I feel like it is to an extent, but do you feel like it's our responsibility to watch over these bastard kids who are tripping, going crazy? Because Tariq Nasheed brought up a good point, but it was very divisive on Twitter for like a week. Niggas was talking about mentoring for like a whole week, and I could tell, like people say about me, I could tell who doesn't have, who has kids, doesn't have kids, who's got money, who don't got money, because all of a sudden some niggas was like, well, I'm not fucking. Some women got 7 kids with 6 different, that's not your problem, just take care of my kid. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think that's our responsibility?
I think it's just case by case. I myself am taking on that responsibility just because I used to have that rule for myself where it was like, even if the woman was perfect, I'm not finna deal with her because she got extra kids. But in the long term, it's like I have a kid. I feel like if you a man that has no children, it's case by case. You could do that. You could say that. But if you got a kid, it's kind of hypocritical to be like, well, she can't have no kids, or she can't have nothing going on, or she can't have no past, or even when it's like, I even say to the point where you in your 30s and you like your girl was like a little, she had a little hoe phase. It's like, if your girl ain't had that, she about to be in that with you. So you got to really weigh your options when you're dealing with people. And even with that, even like you said, going back to just the main topic, what we was talking about, like, it's case by case. And like you said, people got to stop feeling like, even that you feel like you being whole, that you was just like, you got it, fam. Because like you said, that's most of what I do, because it's like, motherfuckers going to be mad, going to be upset. I'm not going to let your energy manifest in what I feel, because like you say, I can fuck shit up.
You're not gonna have the energy to fuck up your pussy, basically. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Shut up, little nigga. Niggas be trying to sound poetic. It's like, how do I secure this single mom pussy? I got a kid. It's hard to match up. Shut the fuck up, little nigga. Here's $50.
Yeah.
Buy some V-Bucks. Get the fuck out of my face.
Let me tell you something. The thing about it is, when it comes to women get raised differently because they get away with different shit than guys get to. So now that you got women raising, when you got women raising the guys, putting that women energy in there, dudes are taking on the women shit, thinking they're gonna get away with that shit when you're being raised as a man. Yeah. So to explain that more is, if a guy hits somebody, there could be life or death consequences. Yeah. When a woman hits somebody, the conversation is you should walk away. So when you grow up in that situation, what happens is you get women who aren't afraid to use their hands in any situation, and you get guys that, how many times have you been around your guy and you seen a guy like actively just hit somebody? It happens, but not as at the rate of women. Like I said, you watch basketball and all that shit. As soon as they disagree, they throwing drinks and shit. Just imagine what you would do, Colin, if you got it and a nigga throws a drink in your face. Like they do on basketball. You have to call everybody to get me off this nigga. Yeah. So the rules is different. Just like women, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of women grow up a little bit neater, a little bit or more organized. Not all, but a lot do. Why? Because the standard when they're growing up is, oh, you got to get ready for your husband. You can't have this kitchen looking any kind of way. You can't have this. So a lot of women grow up with a little different standard in different areas based on how we raised. So when you eliminated the man out of the home, all the expectations of the mom are being transferred to the boys now. And women look at the world very differently than how men look at the world. So now these emotional responses, because how many times you hear a mom say, I don't give a fuck if it's a boy or a girl. She hit you, you hit her back. Yeah. That's what women say.
Nowadays. Yeah.
Because that's how women react. A man, you can't tell a man that because he'll fuck around and smack the shit out of a little girl. Yeah. We get that, though. So we got to bring the man back in the home, but it starts with just us supporting relationships as a whole. Nowadays, everybody want to be a savage. Yeah. Everybody's a savage now. This is like I say it every episode, this is the booty hole brown generation of women. This is the women that got sexualized, and the men are all in the street, fake street niggas now. So it's all about death and sex now. Dildos and pistols. That's what it's all about now.
That's a crazy mixtape.
Dildos
for Sexy Red.
I might call this a good episode name too. That's a good one. Good episode name. Dildos and pistols.
With the little rose toy on the front cover.
That's what this is about now. So it's like everything, and this is how fucked up the culture is now. When you go against that ignorant shit, they look at you like you're a Clarence Thomas ass nigga. So it's like if I get on the internet and I'm like damn, I just saw a picture of a video of light skinned Keisha. Shout out to her. Very talented, very cold. Light skinned Keisha, she got on the live and she like, why everybody get mad at us for wanting to twerk? We like to twerk. We like to have fun and we like to this. I'm like, I don't think nobody's mad at twerking. I don't think no guy will say, I'm mad. What it is we're tired of the primary image of black women being twerking and dancing. That's what we're tired of. We're tired of when you get a flashcard, you go to psychologists and they be like, what comes to mind when you see this? When a flashcard of a black woman comes up, it shouldn't be the first thing that comes up is twerking and shaking ass, booty hole brown and shit.
So like you said the booty hole brown. Sexy Red, Bree, I got a question to ask you. You seen her at the BET Awards. Is that like I know there ain't no dress code, but is that really like, I know it's an image and everything, but is that presentable, or is that just taking a step back with the like Value Beauty heels and like what?
It's
was
everything
low
she
budget.
raps of herself to be. If
But
you
she
listen-
was being true to herself,
I
though.
want Bree to answer that because that's your wave. How do you feel about the
I
BET
don't listen to
Awards?
Sexy
Wait, how do you
Red.
feel
She's
about the
just
BET?
like, if I'm going to listen to anybody, I'm going to listen to Sukihana. I'm sorry.
But Suki
That-
would come
that's
presentable.
a
She
great
wouldn't come
represent-
like that though. That's different.
I don't
True.
know. She literally got her ass ate on stage. I don't think she would.
But she's a hypocrite. Like
yeah,
a
but
lot
she
of
wants
people are.
shock
Suki
value
got-
though. That, like
I
I
thought
get
I
what you're
never-
saying. She's all about shock value. That's it.
Sukihana is to horror music what Rick Ross is to gangster music. Okay, she's
Yeah,
obviously.
I don't know.
I
Rick
get
Ross
the-
made some.
They're talented, but
made
they're
Teflon down.
not
I think
that.
she's pretty serious. I think the YK Osiris thing, people, but again,
She ain't a
before,
hoe.
remember that 2 weeks before that, she was on a leash on her knees with NLE Chopper. So it was just the nigga, not the
But-
the criminal, not the crime.
But I think I thought that too, and I said it even on the show.
True.
But what kind of changed my opinions when I really started watching some of these Sukihana videos where she's on video crying, talking about she sold her soul, and I grew up pouring on. You're a victim. That's what you are. That's why I'm not even gonna.
she
I don't even want to
sexually
joke
assaulted
about.
that, like,
I don't even want to joke about Sukihana no more. She's a victim. You could tell something happened to her at a young age that fucked her up, and she's doing whatever it takes to get money, and she probably had to rely on being sexual her whole life.
I mean,
That's probably why the YK Osiris shit probably really did fuck her up. Because who knows what type of stepdaddies or weirdo niggas was forcing themselves on her at a young age.
Fact.
Because like I said, the first song I ever heard about
She don't
her,
do shit for free.
the first song I ever heard from Sukihana, the first verse she said she was sucking dick since when? She was 6 years old.
Oh, no, the
Sixth
first
grade.
Song,
Sixth
the
grade.
first song I heard, she said she was retarded,
Yeah.
and I was like,
First song I heard, she said, I've been
Both
sucking dick
are
since 6th grade. So,
That's
so
crazy.
I got to treat her the same way we treat some of these gangster niggas who grew up and they just had no choice. I think she's one of those whores who really had no choice but to whore her whole life. And now she's at this point. She's a victim. I'm not. She's really. It's a lot of these celebrities we put.
to be honest, a lot of those women and men are victims.
And that's what I'm alluding to. A lot of these niggas we put on this high ass pedestal, and we think it's so cold. They're that way because they've learned how to channel their victimhood, so people can champion.
Are you gonna apologize?
I never this. I think it's a blasphemous, and I think it's fucking very fucked up that him, Raz B, and Orlando Brown got a reality show because you got two people you know is mentally fucked up, and we just gonna film them and laugh at it. And then when one of them OD in 5-10 years or something crazy happened to him because we didn't give him all this money and enabled all this crazy shit they're gonna do, then it's he was bad. I used to
can't
watch
lie.
That's So Raven.
Can I be honest? It was funny when Razby got knocked out though. He got randomly knocked out in the
I'm
club.
not. I'm not saying
That
it's not
shit
gonna be
was
funny. I'm not that big of a
He was
person.
claiming Rolling 60's crib. Orlando Brown was claiming Pyro. I'm like, these niggas are really crazy.
It's
Like,
gonna be funny, but I just feel like Orlando, and we said this before. Orlando Brown doesn't need any cameras in his face at all. Now it's the same shit that happened. What's that white dude that just died? OD'd Aaron Carter.
oh yeah.
Aaron Carter, when he started, I remember he did one interview and he was tweaking like he was off some drugs and shit. Next thing you know, everybody want to interview him. Because
Yeah.
everybody wants that crackhead interview where he goes to spilling beans
I think it
and
was like,
saying
yeah, no
shit.
jumper or something.
Next thing you know, he's OD'd out. I'm like, what do y'all think? Like, we rooted this shit on, and then when the bad shit happens, it's fucked up. I used to listen to I Want to Be Shaq. No, you didn't. I don't want to hear this shit. So, my thing is, I'm done rooting for niggas to crash out. Basically, that's my
You were
thing.
rooting for niggas to crash out?
I'm saying like maybe not from a literal level, but on a subconscious level, a lot of us are. Like we gotta admit that, like, because it's entertaining. Let's just be real. Watching niggas crash out is entertaining,
No, you're right,
and
Chris.
sometimes it's funny. And guess what? Sometimes they deserve it. Sometimes they deserve it, like the Sakashi shit. Sometimes they deserve it. Sometimes, but I'm just done with it because it's to the point where it's oversaturated, and I don't want that to be the number one thing. Because right now, the number one thing that drives our culture is like beef and shit like that. Everybody talking about Gunna having the number one album. Of course, he has the number one album. He's been being called a snitch, and he has an ongoing case. So when you got that much negativity, those are gonna get streams. It's not like albums no more where people gotta physically go. You're gonna get clicks off curiosity. When Tekashi 6ix9ine came back, he had the number one songs on YouTube for like a couple months before he fizzled back down or whatever. So that's how this shit works now. It's a scary place because that attention, people, like me and Colin was talking about in the car, that content creator shit is getting scary because of it seems like the deaths people are willing to stoop is getting lower and lower every year. And it's making me think, like, where is this shit going to be at in 10, 15 years? Like, are we going to start seeing, like, some motherfuckers just flat out killing people or doing crazy shit on camera
we damn near see it now.
for 100? Like,
I was about to say it's getting close.
We see it now. We see it. It's getting crazy. Like when I see Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior, getting picked up, where I see like
Booty
some
warrior.
guy who probably spent a little money on the camera.
tell the people about the booty warrior. I don't think everybody know. I think some of the younger listeners aren't booty warrior.
Fleece Johnson. Fleece is already a sketchy name.
Fleece.
He got famous. He was the booty warrior. I actually love watching criminal jail. I don't watch them as much. I've seen them. I love 60 Days In. I love the jail world. I love worlds that I'm not a part of because, you know what, I realize I like being a quiet, random nigga. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to scale Mount Everest. I don't want to skydive. So I love watching documentaries. The booty warrior was somebody who was on lockup who basically told people he was a gay man in jail and was physically actually sexually assaulting guys. Like, that's why it's really not funny. So he finally got out. He was actually portraying the Boondocks.
I like
one of the. What is it? I like you. I want you. That's how he was coming to niggas, you know. So basically, he's finally out of prison, and somebody who had a phone found him and recorded him, got a clicks, and he's telling his prison stories. But although they're funny from his delivery, he realizes it's sad. He even said I was in the shower with somebody. I seen the soap running down his back. He got really graphic, and he said, that's when I knew I had a problem. But I was like, you didn't know you had a problem when you were physically raping guys? Like, let's be serious. But my whole thing is, I don't think he really needs to be interviewed. And I think when it comes to black men getting raped, especially in jail, that's funny. So it is funny, don't get me wrong, because it was so, but even all the shit, like I watched a lot of, I know it sounds crazy, I watched a lot of videos of niggas, I like eyes, but I like the description of like, because we always fear getting raped in jail or prison. They realize that shit happens. So when people are going through it, I'm like, this nigga is just sick. He's one of them slow dudes who was bad his whole life.
Like
basically.
the part like on Locked Up when the dude with the slick, what was the name? Had the slick back on Locked Up with Master P and them. And he got mouth raped. That's like one of my yeah.
What? Locked Up.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie.
The movie Locked Up.
Oh,
yeah, with it had Master P and that one boy off my I forgot.
Junior?
But I forgot the names of the people, but all I know is he had a slick perm to the back and he ended up getting fucked up and mouth raped in that bitch.
Nigga, I watched Oz.
Crazy.
It was Oz. They had a meeting. A dude was sitting in the bed, and 4 dudes came with a knife. You know what it is. So it's scary, but overall, it's like, why? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stacey from the Wolves and Locked Up. Now I remember.
DeAndre Bonds. But yeah, no. The shit is scary. I love being square. I love being crazy, but yeah, I don't want to say shout out to the
Here's the problem.
He's going to be on Vlad TV very shortly.
He don't need to be on Vlad TV. Again, all his stories is rape stories, and he's crazy. But again, it's funny when black niggas is getting raped.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
They love to do it.
Because when I was watching the video, I'm like, why is he getting an interview? We've heard these stories before. He's a sick nigga that like raping. Like, it's not really funny no more. Do you know he had the nerve to say he didn't like how he's portrayed in the Boondocks? He said he was mad at Aaron McGruder. I'm like, nigga, they literally took your audio and just made it a cartoon. They didn't make nothing up. You're a rapist. I know they say it's because of your environment, but it's like, no, my nigga, you're a rapist. And I would pay like $10 to see the lady he married.
Well,
he said he married a lady. Like, I have to see her.
Here's the other thing too that we can bring up since we on the topic of jail. We was talking about that other video where the guy was talking about how people are literally picking cotton in jail, like that new age slavery. Yeah. And dude was talking about how he went to jail. He went there and they took him out to a Mississippi cotton field and he was all rebellious and shit. And he said they start beating his ass and they put a gun to his head because he said they got legal authority to, like, if they feel like you're escaping, to kill you or whatever. So as soon as you get out of line, they just gonna kill you and throw you over the fence. Say you tried to run. It's real easy. So he said by the 3rd or 4th day, he was the best cotton picking nigga there.
That's a
he said because not only will the guards, beat your ass, but the other cotton picking niggas will beat your ass because they tired of you making it hard on them. That's slavery all over. I mean, could you just imagine getting beat by a bunch of cotton picking niggas? You know, they hands strong as fuck. Yeah. Plenty veins in their hands.
I can't imagine it because I'm not taking my stupid ass. He never said why he went to jail or prison either.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what I'm saying. He tried to this slavery. What you do? Did you rob an old lady? Did you touch a little kid? I don't like jail niggas comparing their shit to slavery.
And that's why
slaves didn't have a choice. You had a choice and you blew it.
That is true.
Regardless if you feel like you don't deserve it or not, you know what? I'm not in the system. A cop looked my name up. People look my name up and C-cap. That ain't your real name. Nigga, I'm clean. Sorry, I'm clean. The little shit I had is gone. I'm clean, so just stay out the way.
But
Be
all it
corny.
takes is one little mistake to end up in there, though.
But
That's why I agree with you, but I still stay somewhat humble because I like you never know, especially with these racist ass cops. Any little situation, there's niggas getting out of jail who are innocent all the time.
But Eric, I stay humble. But like I said, I watch a lot of Locked Up Abroad, 60 Days In. Niggas will be really robbing niggas. I was on drugs, but I robbed 6 niggas. They're treating me inhumane. I got a cheese sandwich. Some niggas will be wanting like, bro, you did a crime. You should know remember it was the sheriff in Arizona, in Phoenix. He had them wearing a pink jumpsuits. They was in Tent City. He was like the mayor. He was crooked though, but it was bad conditions. But again, you're stealing. A lot of them are drug possession, so that's a little bogus. But I'm talking about people who you should be in there. Don't compare your shit to slavery. If you got caught up with a little weed, you should really be in a rehab. I get it. But they're inhumane. I don't do this. When I look at prison, you know what I see? Niggas are playing Xbox. I see a nigga with Outback steak, pizza.
Well, I think it should be based on the crime. I don't think prison should just be you just get thrown into wherever your location is. I think there should be levels. I think there should be like 3 levels.
Where you're doing the crime at though. If you're in a bullshit racist place like Mississippi,
that's true. That is true.
But if you're in Boston, you try to do some PPP shit.
Or overseas, like Brittany Griner, you know.
Brittany Griner, Locked Up Abroad. Niggas be doing stupid shit in Russia. I didn't know they didn't speak to me. The cartel. Da, da.
But like if you get caught with like a vapor, if you get caught with like something you ain't supposed to have, like a pistol, but you ain't got no priors, or you do like some small petty shit, there should be like those are the people I don't mind being in the Little Caesars Xbox prisons and shit where you see niggas with wings and shit like that, man. Like, because I think those prisons should be for reform, so you don't end up in the other shit. But once you become a career criminal or you got priors, that's when you should go to the second level, which should be way more strict. And once you become like a career criminal, like you get in front of the judge and I'm like, damn, you got your rap sheet longer than your resume. What's going on? That's when it's like, okay, you're done. Like once I feel like there's no hope for you and you're just going to keep being in front of my face as a judge, that's when you should go to the 3 bread and water joint.
I would love to.
The part of how I thought jail was growing. Remember when you thought jail was just bread and water in a room? That's what I thought jail was growing up.
I would love to see you on a judge show like Steve Harvey. I think you'd be stricter than Judge Judy, low key. You would spare some niggas, but I think you'd be stricter than Judge Judy.
But I also think
I'll be logical.
As long as jails is privatized companies, we ain't gonna never had no say. Yeah, because it's like they
That's the
gonna
scam.
do
You
what
can't.
they
We can
want to
get
do.
our money up. I'd invest in some prisons. Shit.
Yeah,
We almost need
someone
to
gonna make some
because we almost need to only because if it's going to be a business anyway, we can't allow the Asians and white people to take it over because then who are they going to lock up? Us. Yeah, now everybody used to talk shit because that talking about Michael Jordan on prison when it actually was a white guy named Michael Jordan, but that's a whole different time. But everybody used to talk shit about Michael Jordan, but at the end of the day, if Michael Jordan owned the prison, who knows? Maybe niggas might get treated a little better, you know. Prisoners might get a little pair of Jordan flip-flops instead of the little orange joints or whatever, you know. Whatever they give you. I don't know. Maybe we get niggas in some of these positions, we won't always be getting the shit end of the stick all the fucking time. Like, power is the end of the game. You want power. If we need to be pushing for our people to be in power positions so we're not always the easiest to fuck over when shit
We need
happens.
our people to put the switches down and pick the books up. That's
Exactly.
what the fuck we need.
And we need
Dumbass
people.
niggas.
We also gonna need people to, like I said, when you're in these power positions, like we talked about earlier with the Clarence Thomas, it's not like with just one guy, it's not gonna be enough. But if you got 3 justices up there black, 4 justices up there black, now niggas can kind of band together and make something happen. But what they do is they'll give us a little token spot. That's why I said the point I was making earlier, Clarence Thomas is an example of why affirmative action doesn't work. Because if you just give me a token nigga, he's basically going to go do what all these other niggas do. But if you giving me the best of the best and they just so happen to be black, now I got a real deal a variety of shit.
If you white, wouldn't you want to have somebody that's gonna fit your agenda?
Oh, no, of course, yeah.
If you white, I don't want no real nigga on my board.
Of course. But that's where it comes down to. Niggas have to infiltrate the game so we can be a part of the agenda. As long as they're in control of the agenda, of course, they're gonna rig it for their favor. Like our boy Joe when it comes to the fantasy league, they're gonna rig it to fit their liking.
So inside. I love it though.
They're gonna rig it to fit. I know he's watching, listening, so it's perfect. But they're gonna rig it to that liking. So sometimes I get mad at white people, but I expect it because some part of our problem is we don't be racist enough.
We don't do it, and then we let people bully us.
We let people
like,
bully
oh,
us,
you
yeah.
all
We don't
black
be racist.
owned. Yeah, we is.
Like when you see these Marjorie, whatever these Trump supporters and these far right wing motherfuckers, they don't give a fuck. All that equality shit and trying to appease everybody. They stand for what they stand for, and they don't give a fuck. When it comes to niggas, we always tiptoeing and having to cater to everybody and making sure we pronouncing all the pronouns and all the shit. I'm nigga, black, him, her, nigga, whatever. Like all this other shit, we trying to sit up there and agree with and ride with. Them niggas is not gonna ride with us when the shit really hit the fan. One more thing we got to talk about, though. Well, we kind of alluded to it, but I want to talk about it before we get up out of here because it was one of those things that happen once a year, so we won't be able to talk about it again. We talked about the BET Awards a little bit. I want to recap that a little bit. Just recently passed because, Tyler Perry getting ready to take it over. So this was kind of the last year of old management doing it. So to me, it kind of felt like we're going to go out with a bang. We finna do all the shit we never really got to do. We just finna fuck it, let them take it over, and that's it. Because I feel like, and I hope that Tyler Perry brings another level of class and respectability to the BET Awards going next year. And that actually sparked a debate online because I saw a lot of the ratchet community that felt offended. Because they felt like, oh, y'all always talking shit about the ratchet people. Ain't no fun without a ratchet girl. Gorilla going out like every girl, every man like a ratchet girl. Everybody like the ghetto girls get the guys first on this. It was a whole ghetto girls, ratchet girls thing. Then you had the shit where Sexy Red recently performed. They threw shit at her. And it's like, oh, y'all always treat if this was Ice Spice, y'all wouldn't be treating her like that. And y'all don't show love to that.
Ice Spice is usually like the light
because she's bringing out the insecurities of motherfuckers who felt ugly their whole life. That's what all that shit is. Ice Spice is a human. What's the word? She's a human projector. Where for all they're projecting their insecurities. As soon as they see her, they're seeing the coldness, and all of a sudden, our insecurity came out. Because all these weak ass.
They don't even use Lotto. Like I heard Ice Spice name in I read it in 3 think pieces. I see artists using her. I'm like, that's crazy. Like y'all still using the colorism shit, but I see the dark-skinned ratchet girls have been popping for a while. I'm talking about Cupcake led the way.
They don't listen to them, no. That's the thing. They don't listen to them.
I seen a dude saying Sexy Red skin look crazy, and he got crucified. But there's people that will always defend because the big girls, the black girls, the girls who don't fit conventional beauty have been slighted their whole lives, so they're never gonna which I understand completely. But like you said, Eric, you said great. Like you said, it's a great point. Ghetto people, ratchet people don't encapsulate. That don't represent all black people. And right now, there's no balance. It's like you either ratchet or you corny. And if you corny, no one really wants to hear from you. But if you're too ratchet, now we have to back off from you. So they like the cosplaying, the white people, the same people. Because being a hoe is in right now. So you can see Krishan Rock pregnant, no teeth, twerking, and that's great. That's beautiful. You can see, and you see the people not twerking. The Issa Raes, the Cash Dolls, they're filming it, but they're not up twerking because everybody Janelle Monáe can pull her titty out. And again, it's like only black female artists have to do the degenerate shit to get on, even when you on. Because remember when Miley Cyrus tried it, she got crucified. The twerking, that's too far.
Because white women get held to a higher standard. That's just crazy to me. Like white women get held to this high ass standard. The second they show half a titty, oh my God, man, that's the children are watching.
But was it ratchet or were they having fun? Because that was the number one thing. They was having fun, y'all hating. Like Bree, I want to know: is ratchet? Is it fun? Are we overreacting, or is that just what it is? Niggas, shut the fuck up. Stop hating. We're gonna twerk. We're showing titties. We eating ass on stage. That's what we're doing.
Yes, but show some grace. Show some class.
I knew you was gonna come in like I'm Viv.
You gotta show some class when you shake that ass. That's why I always give Sukiyana her credit because she don't do shit for free. And these bitches is out there giving out freebies, free before 9. Ladies get in free before 11, free drinks, everything fucking free now. It's just like
because the girl who ate her ass, she's like, you probably paid $40, so that is, you put $40 in my pocket, you can eat my ass clean.
Eat my ass has this and this and that. Like,
I think the ghetto blacks then got so used to being the face of black people that when the non-ghetto blacks try to speak up, they try to knock motherfuckers back down. Like, no, that's you're a sellout. You're this.
But I think it's
Meg
the opposite.
is as far as like Megan Thee Stallion and.
Well, that's why I laugh. But see, that's the reason why I
because
laugh.
she's classy.
No, but they were calling Meg. Meg was all
She's
sorts of
assy.
corny and shit. But that's the reason why this little fake girl power shit doesn't really move me. Because y'all pick and choose when y'all want to put that shit up. True. Because when Meg was getting crucified and shit by nigga, I saw way more black women riding for Tory Lanez than I saw. They were
the ones that's riding for Sexy Red too,
sucking that little midget dick, sucking midget dick. Every nigga, every chick, I want a tall nigga, I want a back.
I wish I could
sucking Tory
I want
dick.
to ISO just what he just
Them
said.
the same
Just
ones
use it.
supporting Sexy Red.
So my thing is that
on by leashes.
So when Sexy Red comes around, of course you're gonna get the support because that's more of what us as a culture is used to being. We're identified. That's the reason why.
That's all bitches can relate to. That's all they have left now.
That's why Beyonce don't get supported as much by this new generation. She's married. She talks about black shit. She talks about family shit. Yeah, she has her little horse shit, but it's all. It's like horse for my husband shit.
Cool no
they don't want to. They want the booty hole brown shit. They don't want that shit about love and happiness and children and legacy. So it's all about what we relate to. And right now, I feel there's a generation gap because the shit they relate to is just day to day horror activity. And we come from families. A lot of our generation grew up in the church, separated from the church, learned a lot of more shit. So we're more. It's just different.
Can I also say you're right, but you're wrong. Right now, the liberal, the way twerking ass, doing what you want. We saw that with the protests. Right now, if you can shake ass. A matter of fact, y'all saw that Pride Fest, right? Y'all said, damn, most of these people not even gay. We're in a generation.
Pride Fest, actually, before you said, when we went to Pride Fest in Chicago, it looked just like a BLM protest, but just without signs.
White women everywhere?
No, I'm saying like white women, black women, twerking. All they needed was BLM signs. It would have been the same.
No,
I would have thought George Floyd died yesterday.
Just twerk. Like the thing is, if people don't want to be judged, people want to do their thing, and they want to throw the stone and hide their hands. So right now, anywhere people can twerk and be themselves, which I do appreciate, it's pushed upon. And that's why it'll probably change, and I hate it, but I just hate that now because you have the new chicks, the chicks from the suburbs. You always see, I want a hood bitch. I'm medium ghetto. The ghetto image is popping, but you could tell it's people that's not from the hood because that's not something like Sexy Red is really that. Like if you remember, she went viral.
She
for
really
that.
is that.
She went viral for that Vanessa Carlson shit. Now that 1,000 Miles song. If you remember that. That was her video from like 5 years ago. Yeah. So she's really a blood from St. Louis. Sukiana is really a ghetto chick from Delaware. Like some of these people naturally make it, but what's happening is the people that can kind of look through the window at that from the sidelines, the white people, the gay people, the LGBT,
I was about to say.
They're really pushing it because they're not living that. But we can go, damn, dance monkey, twerk, slap your ass, spit on you, lick on you.
But what a lot of these motherfuckers don't know,
to the safety of their home.
I was just about to say these suburban women they're probably like this is like a tour. This is a trip. This is a temporary little thing.
Safari tour.
Then they're going
that monkey twerking.
Then they're going back to their houses and they're going back to their husbands that they just got done saying they don't need all night. They're going back to them. Whereas we're doing the shit and going back to our 1-bedroom apartments with our son that we're going to expect to shoot somebody when we get into an attack.
Bree, which Maori twin broke up with her husband or divorced her husband?
Tia.
Yeah, so Tia, we see it with Megan Good. They was like they married preachers. They was busting at the seam, and as soon as they got divorced, bitches started.
I had to fucking unfollow Tia because her shit got so cringy.
But it's just
you don't have to dance every day, bitch. Like this shit is crazy.
When she had her titties out in front of her son, how do I look? The son was disgusted. He said, "Mom, you're 40. Give it up."
Because what it is that over sexual shit is getting so much attention for women, so much quick validation. It's like crack. So a lot of women they so in a hurry to get out of those relationships so they can be able to do, get some of that clout crack. So it is what it is. That the same reason why you got John Morant with $200 million deals still want to jump in the street because the street shit and horse shit is where the clout is at for black people right now. Street shit and horse shit. Yeah. And my thing is, when we talk against that, you're a sellout, you're Uncle Tom, I think of that. But my thing is, nobody. Look, I was listening to Dirk on the way here. There's a way where all of this can exist. I feel like we don't have to completely eliminate ratchet shit, just like we don't have to completely eliminate the cornier, more educated, other classier shit. But there's a place where balance can be made. I feel like. I don't feel like the face of black people has to be Sukihana and 21 Savage. Like that's because that's where it's going. Dirk and Sexy Red. Like that's where the shit is going. I'm like, we got way more to offer. That's why I was kind of disappointed in the BET Awards. Cause you got Sexy Red over there dancing by fucking, what was the preacher dude?
Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones and shit. I'm like, and then when they said, did you know that was Bobby Jones there? Her first thing she said was, oh, I wish I would have knew. I would have twerked in his face and gave him a lap dance. I'm like, no class having broad. Like, like what happened to at least respect for the elders? How are we gonna have a prominent award show where we start having the legends come where they like, nah, I might get twerked on by a random bitch. Babyface not finna come to that. Nah. Motherfucker, if Michael Jackson was
I'm sorry, Babyface was singing. Babyface said he was a Krishan Rock fan and sung a verse from her song.
Well, that was a bad example. Babyface is kind of hip. Yeah, he is kind of hip.
Baby, who kicked him off his vibe? That was very scary.
If you think about like our older legends who don't got as much time, you know, eventually these older legends, we want to. Their asses ain't finna be coming to those booty hole brown concerts.
No, we see that with Essence Fest a lot because you know Essence Fest was kind of the auntie fest. You know, when they pulling out titties, I seen the discourse in Essence Fest. Like a lot of older people was like, "Oh, this is they realize this is not really for us." Essence Fest again, that was like the auntie festival. Now it's like a young person kind of, because the young people are the aunties now. The Gen Z, the millennials, they're kind of the aunties, and now they want the provocative shit. So I think the tides are turning, and I am interested to see what Tyler Perry does. Does he bring the class back? Is it going to be Madea? Is it going to be Pride Extended? A lot of
the shows on BET, he's already producing and writing.
Yeah, bring the Teen Summit back.
First off, bring the dress codes back. I don't want to see.
It was a lot of titties.
I don't want to see the low budget fucking pistol with the security guard at the door level fits. I don't want to see that. I want to see niggas in their top tier shit. I want to see like, because my thing is when y'all go out here for these white people, y'all go out to the Met Gala and shit for all these motherfuckers, you motherfuckers be wearing y'all best of the best. But for BT, y'all want to come with that low budget, weak ass shit. Like, step that shit up. Act like you know how to, we start the trends. We know how to do this shit. Step that shit up. Come with your best. Like you said, Sexy Red had on a fucking gas station fit on. Bitch, act like you've been somewhere before. With enough money in her hands to buy a fucking buy everybody fit in there.
It's crazy though. The OGs came through, but yeah, it was definitely a generational gap because Busta came out with crazy, you know, like you said, elegant outfit, E40, all the OGs, T.I., like everybody came with like fly shit, and you could tell when the younger people came out, it was difference.
But and then it's like with the beat.
Drewski had too much clothes on.
Drewski?
You want him with less clothes?
I want Drewski to stop acting like a girl. He pissing me off with that. But
he got a large LGBT following, so I think he kind of just challenged. He does. And when I be on Twitter, I'm like, the gay motherfuckers go crazy for Drewski. So I feel like he has to cater to that base. So I ain't mad at him.
I don't know. Maybe it's just fat niggas with their tongue out. That shit just.
That is too much for me. But I said, yeah, we BET Awards. Let's upgrade this shit because I remember there once upon a time the BET Awards. It never was the top award show, but it was way higher
Michael
as far as
Jackson
prestige.
Was there. Beyonce was
there.
They always talking.
Jay-Z every
They were
year.
so salty that Beyonce wasn't there, like because that shit ghetto.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Even Ice Spice said it was ghetto. It was her first time there.
Beyonce in the middle of a booty hole brown
wasn't there, was it? Kendrick Lamar wasn't there. J. Cole wasn't there.
Yeah, no.
Like, remember when all the top black artists used to be there? Just remember.
Who they attack Beyonce?
Of course they don't attack Beyonce. What do you think Beyonce has time for this foolishness?
The black artists start pushing when they boycotted the Grammys in the 90s. Like I remember Peter Guns and Ho, they boycotted it for a while, so they purposely made them. We need to go back to that for sure. We need to make and to be honest, to be fair, over the last few years, more even B-list black rap stars have been there. So I have been
it's not like how it was.
It's still like a young. Because you gotta think young people grew up watching, so for the young people, you'll still Uzi, you'll still see people with names, you know. But like you said, the top 8, you're not gonna see Michael B. Jordan there, like, and they should be there to be honest. So hopefully Tyler Perry does bring that back.
For the record,
that he will.
And for the record too, I want to send this.
Old gay niggas don't like that ratchet stuff either.
No, and for the record, I want to send this clip to. I want to send this clip to Amber Rose. I cried all night when I saw my boy Uzi get assaulted by JT. Assaulted. Struck him right in the face with a phone. I cried I woke up, I cried, I brushed my teeth, I started crying some more. I ate breakfast and I continued to cry. I got in the bathtub. I didn't even need to put no bath water in because I just let my tears fill the tub up. I cried all day. because there's no way we're going to sit here and allow this victim to just get away and have to go through this turmoil in front of our very eyes. Uzi, we're here for you.